What is it about this opportunity kind of drew you to Jacksonville, joining the staff with Liam Cohen?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, getting a chance to work with Liam again, and knowing that how we see the game and stuff from our past that's kind of been in alignment. So having that opportunity was something I wanted to jump on, and then getting a chance to come down here with a group of offensive players, especially some young guys. I think at all the different spots where you have guys that have room to grow and great great ability and just a good multitude of pieces to work with was a good opportunity to jump on.
What have you thought about some of those guys? I mean, what stands out to you about Trevor right now?
Yeah, I think with Trevor, he's calm, cool, and collected. The way he approaches the day, he's got a good, professional demeanor to him. Good command of the huddle, and he's really willing to learn and wanting to get better every single day. So, just that day in and day out, work ethic that he's shown, and then he's got the skill set and obviously the talent, and he's been there, done that, so to speak, around the league in terms of making big plays in games and played at an extremely high level. Already in his career. So seeing him and just being around him every day has been just a great positive experience.
Trevor talked about this offense maybe being different than some of the ones he's played in the past. Just how complicated or quarterback friendly is this offense?
Yeah, I think it can be a combination of the two. I think some of the complexities, as you get into the system and get that full ownership, once you're through what we're in now is the installation phase, then I think the element that's QB friendly is that ability as the quarterback having ownership of the packages and trying to get into premier plays versus premier looks and something that he's shown already that he's going to have a really good feel of how to do that and when to do that and being able to take ownership and take it to the next level.
Yeah, he said this thing has answers for everything. So does this kind of just put him in the driver's seat to make those decisions to be able to get to that answer? Yeah. Against any defense, basically?
Absolutely. I think, and that's the process that goes in throughout the week and knowing the if this, then that kind of approach to each situation that he sees. And I think, the more ownership he gets of what are those answers, what's the toolbox, what are things that he can get to. And like anything, some of those things you grow into. And, with a guy like him that's been around the league already, I think it's sooner rather than later for him as he's developing and getting an understanding of, how the system works.
How helpful is it to have a guy like Brian Thomas he's big, he's fast. Like you kind of built him in the lab almost for a wide receiver, right?
Yeah, no, I think, his ability to be a receiver at his size and speed that can really work on all three levels, puts him in one of the, elite level receivers in this league, because he's not just a go ball top shelf guy. He's not just an underneath choice route runner. He's a guy that can do a little bit of everything at a very, very high level. So, having a tool like that where he can present a lot of different challenges to the defense is a great starting point, for an outside receiver that can work inside as well.
What have you seen from Travis Hunter as he kind of tries to integrate himself into the offense?
Yeah, I think, he's doing a great job of learning and soaking up all the information. I think Edgar Bennett's done such a good job with him and bringing him along and on offense. And I think, similar to Brian, he does have that ability to not just do one thing. He can do a little bit of everything. He's got, good wiggle, good basketball ability where he can win those one-on-one short space situations, but also has some legit speed to stretch the field. And again, those guys can complement each other. And, with Giambi the same way, where guys that are, receivers that can play really all three spots and not do just one thing really good. They can do a multitude of things really well and really have the ability on offense to move pieces around and kind of change it up.
I guess all the flexibility that the offense has and the tools kind of in the toolbox, does that put extra pressure during like the install phase right now on Trevor to make sure that he kind of has everything buttoned up and learned, like an extra importance there?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more of an emphasis right now on really the conceptual learning element to it and really seeing the big picture, seeing how all the pieces fit together, knowing that when game plan time comes around, we do have the ability to move guys all around to different spots. And it goes the same for the receivers where, their focus, receivers, tight ends, running backs, they're more focused right now on learning the big picture, how all the concepts go together. And, if I get switched around on a play call and put it at a different spot, I can just seamlessly go right in there and execute rather than just be locked into I only do this.
Appreciate it, Shane.
Good to meet you. Yeah.